this lesson, we're going to take a look at the power of repetition. And what we're going to be doing is you need to get this sheet of paper right here, get it glued into your notebook. It has the different sample text on there. We're just going to take a quick little look, and you'll be able to use the rest of them at your disclosure. So first of all, make sure you do that. And then what we're going to do is talk about repetition. So repetition, of course, is that again and again in notice and note. It is also just the repeating of a single word or phrase or something along those lines. Generally, repetition is used when your character is feeling some sort of anxiety. And anxiety doesn't have to be nervousness, okay? It's usually just kind of that negative feeling that's in your stomach. Like if something tragic happens and there's something really sad that happens, that can kind of be that anxious feeling of not knowing what to do. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? It could be an anger, or it could be that something bad has happened and you just can't believe it. So when I say anxiety, it's not just nervousness per se, but it's that feeling of being kind of out of control, regardless of what's happening in the situation at hand. So as we take a look at these different texts right here, the first one we're going to look at is this Prisoner B3087 by Alan Gratz. Again, I'm only going to read a couple of these with you, and then you'll get the point, because with repetition, it's fairly obvious. If I had known what the next 6 years of my life were going to be like, I would have eaten more. I wouldn't have complained about brushing my teeth or taking a bath or going to be bed at 8 o'clock every night. I would have played more, laughed more. I would have hugged my parents and told them I loved them. So I see this repetition, first of all, the word would and wouldn't. The fact that remember, this is the book where he survives, I believe, 10 concentration camps. And so this is how the book actually opens. It's one of my favorite leads out there. Or the fact that there's more. I would have played more. I would have laughed more. Eaten more. So you have these different times that he, here's would as well, that he has repeated himself. And what he's doing is creating that list of here's another thing, here's another thing, here's another thing, because we know that when he goes into these camps, he sees and experiences these awful things. And so he had been taking things for granted at the beginning of his life. Okay. This one I won't read with you, but this noise right here is the sound that the griever makes in the Maze Runner as he's coming to where all the I'm blanking on his name, are hanging on the wall. And so you keep hearing this. This is repeated over and over again for a creepiness. The raft, S.A. Bodine does a really nice job in the raft multiple times. That's where the plane crashes in the ocean. And so this right here actually is right after the plane crashes, the raft by S.A. Bodine. I was falling, the falling lasted forever, my arms windmilling in the void. I wanted to stop moving, stop the noise, stop the wet, stop the cold, stop the blowing, stop everything. So that repetition of stop, not only is stop repeated as a word, but stop is used as the first word in these really short sentences in order to create that anxiety of this happening. The same thing is right here, this alone right here. Yeah, the alone with the pounding of my heart. This is when the co-pilot, I believe, kind of passes out in the raft with her. And then here is a totally different one. This one's not necessarily anxiety, but this is her poem, I believe, is called I Believe, in Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. And so sometimes you can use repetition for patterns. So over here in my notes, I'm going to put anxiety, not pattern, and strong beliefs. Because when we look at Jacqueline Woodson's poem, this is toward the end of the book, and her book is about her growing up during the civil rights movement in the South. It says, I believe that there is good in each of us, no matter who we are or what we believe in. I believe in the words of my grandfather. I believe in the city and the South, and the past and present. I believe in Black people and white people coming together. I believe in nonviolence and power to the people. So what she's done here is she's showing passion or her belief statements for a topic. You can also think about when we read Dr. King's speech. And I mean, I have a dream, and I have a dream that one day my children will grow. I have a dream that, and so that repetition can also be used for passionate speak in a text. So some sort of anxiety, strong beliefs, or to make a point, as well as this idea of passion. What I'd like for you to do is in your text, find some place where your character is either experiencing some sort of negative emotion. Remember, anxiety does not have to be nervousness. It has to be a time when maybe your character feels like he or she is out of control. Okay. And then, or a time of it's like impassioned discussion. So they're talking to someone, like maybe they're yelling at their parents. Don't yell at your parents. About something they believe they should have a cell phone or whatever, and they're getting really into it. And so see if you can use repetition to drive home that thinking. Or maybe your character is experiencing an extreme moment of sadness. I just couldn't believe, like, I couldn't believe he was gone. Gone, never return, laughter, gone, smiles, gone, just gone. So you can kind of play, like, it doesn't have to be, again, anxiety when something sad happens, that's traumatic, like a death or something like that. You often feel this lack of control. And so you can, again, go into that power of the repetitive words. Okay. Chances are you can also find it in your book. So if you want to take a look in there, you can do that. But go into your text and see. Remember, there's that power of 3. Okay. 3 is not some magical number. You can see, like in the raft, she used it multiple times. I wouldn't go more than 5. We kind of talk about that idea of, again, the magic of 3, but you have 3 to 5. What happens is if you only do it twice, your reader may not be sure if it was intentional repetition or accidental repetition. If you do 3 times, we know that you're doing it on purpose to prove a point. Once you hit about 5, however, your reader kind of gets the point. So I wouldn't go over 5, maybe 6 in an extreme case, but stick in this realm of 3 to 5 repetitions, and then you'll be able to you'll make your point without getting your reader to the point of extreme boredom. So, all right, look for the repetition. You can use any of these examples here. These are all very, very short, and they are direct because you can see what they do. Look for places where there's anxiety, which is that lack of control. A place where your reader has strong beliefs or passion, your character has strong beliefs or passion, and then use that mark of about 3 to 5 times. See if you can do this at least one time in your text. If you need help, just let us know.